Betsy DeVos is one step closer to becoming Education Secretary this morning. After a procedural motion just a short time ago, her nomination now goes to the full Senate for a vote early next week. But something very unusual is happening. People across America are flooding congressional phone lines, telling their senators not to vote for DeVos. 2 Republicans have already turned on her based on the calls.
I have heard from thousands, truly thousands of Alaskans who shared their concerns about Mrs. DeVos as Secretary of Education.
And they're not stopping. Senator Bob Casey reports getting 80,000 pieces of mail on it. That is 900% more than usual. Some say the last 3 days have been the busiest in the Capitol switchboard history.
I think we've seen the Senate switchboards get more volumes of calls now than they have for years before.
I want you to hear this. This is what happens if you call New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez's office this morning.
I'm sorry, but that mailbox is full. Please try again later. Thanks for calling. Goodbye.
That was for real. Right now, the vote is set at 50-50 with the Vice President as the tiebreaker, but could one more senator go? Joining me now is Democratic Senator Hirono of Hawaii, who sits on the Judiciary Committee. Good morning. Tell us, will Betsy DeVos, is she going to get confirmed Education Secretary? Are you going to get one more senator to turn?
That's why the constituents from every state who care about public schools and the millions of young people and children who attend our public schools need to continue to call their senators, because it shows that there's such concern about Betsy DeVos and her rightness for this position. So, you know, for myself, I will be voting against her. Why? Because we need a person, a Secretary of Education, who actually believes in the public school system and who is committed to improving public schools, who shows an understanding of some of the major enforcement requirements for the Department of Education that she did not show that she had an understanding of, particularly with regard to children with disabilities. So, you know what, we talk all the time about how foundational education is. Well, we should ask ourselves before we cast our votes, is she the best person for the millions of children and young people who attend public schools? And the answer has got to be no. And I know from experience how important public schools are, because I am an immigrant and I attended public schools all the way through college. I learned how to speak English in public schools. I learned to prepare for college in public schools. And we all have teachers who really influence our lives. And for me, that was my 6th grade teacher, Mr. Oshiro, who I still keep in touch with. And he really was committed to his students, and he encouraged me to study hard and make something of myself and give back.
I'm a product of public school, and it was my 1st grade
there
teacher, Mrs. Barnes. I want to ask you, though, about this announcement. At 10:30 this morning, we are going to be hearing about new sanctions against Iran. You are on the Armed Services Committee. What do you know about this?
I support the Iran nuclear deal. And frankly, I don't know what's in the sanctions that President Trump is talking about, but he should be listening to national security experienced people like General Mattis, our defense secretary, such as General Kelly, our Homeland Security, and not his advisor Bannon, who doesn't have any background on national security issues.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I appreciate it.